Welcome to the third day of January 2022. Happy New Year, everybody. This podcast today being brought to you by Chugwater Chili. Check out Chugwater Chili Steak Rub. This smoky and spicy blend of spices is the perfect way to season your steaks, rib, fish, burgers, and much more. You'll never be bored with your meat dishes again. Try Chugwater Chili Steak Rub today with discount code ChugwaterDon for 20% off. Chugwater Chili, the spice of Western life. As we take a look at the weather, more wind is coming, then an Arctic front. I'm afraid to say more wind. Yes, the wind has been relentless all month of December, now here into early January, and we've got a lot of the west that is going to have high winds again today. Coldest air of the season is then going to drop into the region Wednesday and Thursday. This will be especially for you folks east of the divide. West of the Continental Divide, this Arctic air may not be deep enough to get over the hill. But certainly for folks along and east of the divide, from Alberta and Saskatchewan to Montana to Wyoming, the northern and eastern Colorado into the western high plains, be ready for the coldest air of the season. This is going to bring dangerous livestock and travel weather conditions to the region, and mountain snows will be heavy again. Boy, have the mountains gotten a lot of snow, and there's more coming over the next 7 days to the high country. Here's today's weather chart, and as you can see, we have a westerly flow, kind of a La Nina phase 1 back in place right now. This is going to lead to a relatively mild pattern. But since the winds aloft are perpendicular to the Continental Divide and the winds aloft are strong, this is going to make it very windy in this region right here and elsewhere across the Intermountain West as the jet stream winds are strong. As we go forward, this type of pattern is going to cause some very strong wind gusts over a large portion of New Mexico, Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, southern areas of Montana, then even back here into the northern Great Basin, the Pacific Northwest. It's going to be getting very windy as these strong jet stream winds move on in. This will be causing blowing snow problems along the higher elevations of Interstate 80 and I-70. The worst of the wind is going to be today and Tuesday. This is a map of all of the watches, warnings, and advisories for weather across the United States. You see all these brown areas? These brown areas right here are high wind watches in effect. So you can see a large swath of the I-80 corridor of Nebraska and Wyoming is under that high wind watch. As we head into Wednesday and Thursday, now this map doesn't look like much, does it? We have winds aloft now are going to turn in and come in from the northwest. What we're going to have, if we follow the trajectory of the air is coming off the Pacific. At the same time on the ground, Arctic air is leaking in from the north. Also, we have an area, a region here of very strong jet stream winds. These strong jet stream winds add lift to the atmosphere. So when you have strong jet stream winds with Pacific moisture overrunning Arctic air, that lift will cause a widespread area of snow to develop along the Arctic boundary as it moves south into the region. And this is by Thursday morning. You can see the Arctic boundary very well in the purple here. And you see how it's hanging up right along the divide? Well, that's where the coldest air will be. So on top of this Arctic air is that Pacific moisture and jet stream energy. And we're going to see some very cold temperatures by Thursday morning. These are the forecasted temperatures near sunrise Thursday morning. You see there are some 20, minus 22 up here around Gillette. We've got lots of 10 to 20 degree below zero temperatures. There'll probably be some minus 25s in some areas. Single digits to zero get all the way down to near Denver. Single digits all the way down into Trinidad. And some of the coldest air of the season reaching the high plains of western Kansas and far eastern Colorado. This is what the precipitation forecast looks like. The precipitation is lined up with those strong jet stream winds from the Pacific Northwest through the northern Rockies. And you see these little stretches, these little bands of moisture coming off the mountains here. These bands are is something that you really see a lot in these Arctic outbreaks, where you'll get these bands of moderate to sometimes heavy snow line up with the jet stream winds from the northwest to the southeast. And so what will tend to happen is you'll get bands of heavier snow, lighter snow in between, then heavier snow again, lighter snow than heavier snow. You'll see these fingers, these heavier bands move through That'll be on the plains. In the mountains, very impressive snowfall totals again. Look at the Pacific Northwest, back in the Northern California. Another big round of snow for the Central and Northern Rockies. This is what the snowfall forecast looks like between now and Thursday afternoon. Pretty impressive swath of moisture again reaching the plains. So the plains get into the action as well, along with that Arctic air. As we head into the weekend, we've got another trough coming in. Not a big one, but this weekend low will come through, and what it will do is produce another round of snow in the mountains, some snow showers on the plains. However, after this weekend, I do see a bit of a break in the weather pattern early next week, and here it is. This is for Monday. We have a temporary ridge of high pressure built in. So the bottom line is wind today and tomorrow. Arctic conditions with snow and very, very cold temperatures Wednesday into Thursday. More mountain snow with snow showers on the plains for the weekend. Then early next week, a little bit of a warm up, a little bit of a break in the weather pattern, but it's a pattern that's going to stay very active. So there's no real long extended January thaw in the mix here at the moment. Have yourself a great Monday. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.